It has started.
Hare Krishna devotees. Thank you for the people who are listening on the live stream. Thank you for listening to it. We'll begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Let me share my screen. Share my screen. So we'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so today let's look at Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, verse number 13. ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सन्तत् नासदुच्यते ज्ञेयं यत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते. Word for word. Jneyam, the knowable, yat, which, tat, that, pravakshami, I shall now explain, yat, which, jnatva, knowing, amritam, nectar, ashnute, one tastes, anadi, beginningless, matparam, subordinate to me, Brahma, spirit, na, neither, sat, cause, tat, that, na, nor, asat, the effect, uchyate is said to be. Translation and purport Srila Prabhupada. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So, Krishna, in this verse in Bhagavad Gita, he speaks that the knowledge, I'm going to speak about knowledge. He says, Nyayam yat tat pravakshami. Nyayam means knowledge, what should be known. Okay. So, that thing that should be known, hmm, the object that should be known, that I'm going to speak about it. Pravakshami. Knowing that you're going to attain Amrita. Mrita means Mrityu, that is death. Amrita means deathlessness. So you're going to attain the eternal salvation. And then what is that? He says Brahma, that is Brahman. Okay. Matparam, we'll come to this word Matparam later. Anadi. Anadi means it is beginningless. Adi means there is beginning. Anadi is just opposite. There is no beginning. Na sat tat na asat. It is not sat. It is not asat. So it will be confusing to us. So we have always said that, this whole world is asat. And then we should look toward sat. Sat means that which is eternal. Asat means that which is non-eternal. But here Krishna is saying that Brahman is neither Sat nor Asat. How can that be? So there should be another meaning for this. Sat also means cause and Asat also means effect. That's what Prabhupada is taking here, and other acharyas also take the same thing. Sat means cause, that which produces. Asat means just the opposite of Sat, that which comes into picture. Right? So Brahman is beyond all these things. So Krishna is saying this is what you should know, knowing which you will attain the final salvation. So here the whole scripture talk about only three things: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. This three aspect of God is being spoken about in the scripture. And the scripture speak about three varieties of things. It talks about three forms of God, and then it also talks about three varieties of things. What are all the three varieties? You have Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Okay. Sambandha is relationship, just the meaning of the word. Abhideya is practice. Prayojana means goal. Sambandha, for example, in this world, if you take what is Sambandha? Relationship. Suddenly, I am born into a family. I'm forced to be born into a family. What is the reason I'm born into a particular family? Because the family has a lot of influence. When I'm born in a particular family, I am forced to learn something. I'm forced to act in such a way, and then I'm even forced to send to to be sent to a particular school, and then I am forced to or influenced to study particular subjects and a particular college, everything, and a particular type of work I have to choose, and my particular family has so much wealth and so on and so forth, right? So everything is influenced. Why I am forced to take birth in this particular family and not other families? I should know. What is this relationship with me, with my birth and myself? Huh? That is Sambandha. And then what is my relationship with other living entities, other human beings who are also like me? They are born into different families. And they are also forced. They don't have a choice. They cannot be born in multiple families. Or they haven't chosen to be born in a particular family. They are like me, they are forced to be taken birth into different families. Huh? So that they are like me, and then they one second, huh? Sorry, there's some noise going on in my home. Okay. So the other living entities, other human beings who are apparently like me, and they are also forced to be born into different situations, and they also haven't chosen their life, just like I have not chosen. So what is my relationship with me? They look like me, and they are put into a situation like me. So what is my relationship with them? And the whole thing in this world looks to be orchestrated by somebody. For example, every day morning the sun rises without fail. The sun is rising every day, and the seasons are coming properly. When there is a rainy season, the rain comes and pours. Uh, and then when there is a summer season, the heat is generated. There is a winter season, cold, and there is a autumn season. All the leaves fall down. Uh, um, and the earth is rotating around the sun every year. All these things are happening, and the earth is not going so close to the sun, it can get burned, and then it is not so far away from sun, and then it can become an ice. It is perfectly situated. So it looks like somebody is orchestrating all these things. So there seems to be somebody called God. What is my relationship with that God? All these things are sambandha. The scriptures talk about sambandha. And then the second part is abhideya. Abhideya means spiritual practice. For example, we have hearing the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That is a spiritual practice. Hearing itself is a spiritual practice. Then we have um, um, remembering or meditating. We meditate on a particular form of Lord, and we meditate for a long time. That is a spiritual practice. Then we have deity worship. That is a spiritual practice. We worship a particular deity with the different paraphernalias. These are all spiritual practices. These are called abhideya. And then we have prayojana. Prayojana is the goal. Uh, you follow a specific spiritual practice, you will attain a specific goal. It is very nicely defined. I follow karma yoga, I will attain a different goal. I follow jnana yoga, I will attain different goal. I follow bhakti yoga, I will attain different goal. Within bhakti yoga also, you have varieties of practices. Each practice leads to different goals. So, in this way, all this knowledge are given in scripture. But you can categorize into only three category: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. And this Prayojana, what is this Prayojana? What am I going to obtain? Three different goals you can obtain. That is very nicely discussed in the 11th verse of second chapter of first canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam. वदन्ति तत्तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान् इति शब्द्यते. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. So here Vadanti. Vadanti means they speak. So who are speaking? Tattvavidaha, the knowers of truth. The knowers of truth are speaking about what? About that. It is written here. It's a tat in Sanskrit is also that. You can. It's the same meaning. Vadanti tat tattvavidaha. The knowers of truth are speaking about that. What is that? Tattvam yaj jnanam advayam. So they are speaking about that particular God. That is the real truth. That God is not multiple God. There is only one God, Advayam. In Hinduism, people easily get confused. They come, the different people are worshiping. Some people are saying Ganesha is God. Some people are saying Shiva is God. Some people are saying Kartikeya is God. And this way, there's so many confusions are there. Because of people practicing different paths. But here, Bhagavatam says that there is only one God, Advayam. Dvayam means two, Advayam means opposite of two. Opposite of two is one. Advayam. What is that Advayam? How to call that Advayam? Brahma iti, Paramatma iti, Bhagavan iti, Shabdyate. Iti means you can put it in quotes. Brahma iti. that is called Brahman. Paramatma iti, that is called Paramatma. Bhagavan iti, that is called Bhagavan. So you can call that same God with the three different names: Brahma, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here, if you look at this 13th verse that we were looking at, here Krishna says Brahma. He is defining the Brahman. And then he says Mat Param. Mat Param means that which is subordinate to me. I am superior to that Brahman. He is defining a hierarchy here. I am superior to that Brahman. Huh? So here also the same hierarchy is being followed. Brahma first, superior than that is Paramatma, and superior than that is Bhagavan. So the Bhagavan form possesses all the opulences, all wealth, all form, all beauty, everything. That is Bhagavan. So he has a spiritual form, and we can interact with that form. This is the God's form, and then with this particular God's form we can interact with him. We can have relationship with him. We can achieve um, um, a specific lila with him. We can participate in his lila. In this way you can um, interact with the Bhagavan form of God. Then you have Paramatma. So when the God is just all pervaded everywhere, throughout the universe, throughout all the living entities, and he becomes the controller of this universe. So this is a well-known form of God that in many religions he is portrayed as that he who is the controller of all the religions. Uh, and God is all pervading. Very famous God is everywhere statement. So that is referring to the Paramatma form. He is everywhere. He is within me, within you, within all of us. Very close to me, Paramatma. Then you have Brahman. Brahman is a form of God which does not have any form. It's formless. This is Brahman. God, we cannot limit that God can only have forms. God also has a form which does not have any form. That is the Brahman. This same God is not different. We should not think that there is three gods being discussed here. No. This is three different way of looking at the same God, but he is only one God. Advayam. Advayam means only one. Just like when I am looking at a mountain which is fresh with all trees from a far distance, I would only see green color. The mountain looks very green. Not during summer, but during spring. If you see the mountain, it will look very green from far because of the lot of trees that are growing in the mountain. But with that, I cannot come to the conclusion that, oh, this is just a green mountain. It will look, when I am looking from a far distance, the green whole mountain will look like green. When I go closer to the mountain, then I could see that, oh, that looks like a tree. And then there seems to be some birds coming out of it. Uh, some clarity I get as I go closer towards the mountain. And when I get into the mountain, then I can see, there is a cave over there. There is a waterfalls there. Then I can touch it. And then a cave, I can sit in it, and then I can play around with. And there are humans walking in the mountain. There are animals. So many details I can see. So similarly, when I am observing that mountain from far away, that is called like a Brahman. So I'm observing God from so far away that he looks only a God, a form of God without any form, very impersonal. I go a little bit closer toward approaching the God, then he looks like I'm able to appreciate his all-pervading feature. Paramatma, he is everywhere, and he is the controller in charge of this material energy. Then further I go closer to the mountain, then I can see details. Not only details, I can interact with the mountain like that. So you can also interact with the God. He has a form: Krishna, Vishnu, Narasimha, Varaha. In this way, he has different forms. And then I can worship that form, not only worship that form, and then the form also reciprocates with me. When I perfect my life, I can go and live with that particular form of God. Like Krishna, I can go to his planet and then I can live with him. Narasimha, I can go to his planet, I can live with him. And then I can spend my whole time. So this is the prayojana, the goal. So we discussed about Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. This is the Prayojana part. Same hierarchy Krishna gives here as well. Mat Param Brahma. That I am superior to this Brahman. Huh? And the same hierarchy is mentioned here as well. Now, the whole scripture is talking about these three things. Now, but if we look directly into the scripture, it will be very difficult to come to conclusion. Not only that, when we look at India, for example, where they are following the Vedic scriptures, we can get bewildered also because different people follow different practices. Some people worship Ganesha, as I was saying. Some people worship Kartikeya. Some people worship Shiva. Some people worship Durga Devi, Kali. This way, some people worship Vishnu. So, what is the correct practice? How do we come to the conclusion? So, we have to look into the scriptures. If you don't look into the scriptures, then it is between you and me. I will say something, and then you will say something, and this is correct. We can fight about that each other with each other. But when we have to understand the spiritual goal, we have to go to scriptures. The scriptures give us the knowledge. Now, the scripture is so vast and wide. So many books are there. For if you go to Christianity, there is only one book, Bible. The Bible. You read the Bible, and then the answer is given there. Then you attend the God. But in Hinduism, you see, or Sanatan Dharma, you see like there's so many literatures are available. How do I come to a conclusion? So we have to understand how the scriptures came into picture. Who wrote it? If we understand that properly and understand also the intention of that particular person, then we can come to a correct conclusion. So one time Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, he is the compiler of all the scriptures that in Sanatana Dharma that is available to us. So he is the compiler of all the scriptures. So one time what he did, he sat on the bank of river Saraswati, and then he bathed himself, and then he came to his ashrama. He had an ashrama, which is Bhadrika ashrama. Then he was sitting there, and then he was contemplating on it, what next to do. So at that time, he saw in his meditation that in the future, Vyasadeva was sitting in the Dwapara Yuga, end of the Dwapara Yuga. So he was sitting at the end, he's sitting at that place at the end of Dwapara Yuga, and then he was contemplating the future people. The future people are the Kali Yuga people. And then he saw that as the Kali Yuga progresses further and further and further, people's memory was reducing. People were becoming very much incapable of learning things. And they are also becoming lazy to learn things. Huh? And then they are also very, very misfortune. Their lifetime is very small. They are very much distracted in their mind. Like now we can see that there are so many social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and then on top of that we have phones in our hand. It disturbs us all the time. Look at WhatsApp, look at Gmail, and on top of that there is stocks. You look at the different stocks and then monitor when will my money will increase. So in this way we are constantly distracted, and then the TV is there, Netflix is there, so many things to distract us, news, politics, hundreds of things to distract us. So he saw that people are getting easily distracted and they are lazy and they are don't have so much time. How are they going to go to how are they going to study all these scriptures? So that time the scriptures were not written down. You have to go to a particular guru, and then the guru will recite the scriptures, and then you hear it, and then you memorize it like that. The whole thing, the whole Vedas were very huge. So you memorize that everything, and then you can come to the conclusion. So understanding this, so what did he do? First thing he did is he took all the knowledge and then he put it down into pen and paper. He wrote it down, the entire scripture, entire gamut of scriptures. He wrote it down. These are the four Vedas. We have Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. It's very well known from childhood. Many of us would have studied about this. These are the four Vedas that are existing: Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. So he has written down this four Vedas. But then he saw that. So even after writing down, not everybody would be eligible to read this four Vedas. So, and also the meanings are very cryptic, very difficult to understand. So, what do we do? So, then he wrote Puranas. So, the Puranas, so, one meaning of Purana means it is very old. But there is another meaning for Purana. Purana means Purnayate. Purnayate means that which completes. So, the Vedas, because they are very difficult to understand, and you have to read the whole set of Vedas to understand. And as Vyasadeva was seeing that, as Kali Yuga progresses, the parts of the Vedas will be missing, they will be lost. Right now, we don't have the entire set of Vedas. Many of the parts of the Vedas are lost forever. We have very, 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 very less amount of the Veda. First of all, even to study the whole set of Vedas will take time. On top of that, we don't have the whole set of Vedas. And then, even if we had that, it is difficult to come to a conclusion. Then, without having the whole Vedas, how will we even come to a conclusion? So, understanding that he wrote 18 Puranas. So, through these Puranas, you can approach the Vedas and then you can come to the conclusion. The Puranas will give. But he also wrote in such a way that the Puranas will cater to different types of audience. Not all audience are of the same category. People are of different nature. People are influenced by three natures: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So, by mode of goodness, when people are impacted, they will be having interest to study the scriptures, and their knowledge will be more elevated. They will have more capacity to read and understand. They're broad-minded, and they will be scrutinizingly studying things nicely. So, for those people, he has created six Puranas. They are called Sattvika Puranas. And then for people in the mode of passion, they are agitated more than the people in the Sattva. People in the Sattva are very peaceful. People in the mode of Rajas, they are very much agitated. They cannot sit in one place. So for them, he has created another six Puranas. And he has said, for the Sattvic people, the god to worship is Vishnu. So you study the Sattvic Purana, you worship Vishnu. And then for the people in the Rajas, he has given six Puranas. And then reading those Puranas, you can worship Brahma. And then final set of Puranas, six Puranas, he has given for people in the mode of ignorance. Tamas, very, very low. For them, he asked to worship Lord Shiva. Why he has given these three deities? Because Lord Shiva is in charge of mode of ignorance. Lord Brahma is in charge of mode of passion, and Vishnu is in charge of mode of goodness. So in this way, he has given for three types of people. Then Vyasadeva was sitting and thinking, still, these Puranas are very huge. It will be difficult for them to understand. On top of that, there are three gods he has given. So people will not be able to understand what is the highest goal. People may get confused also. So what do we do about this? So he wrote one more work called Vedanta Sutra. So the Vedanta Sutra basically summarizes the whole Vedas into only one book. So you can take that one book and then you can read it and then you can come to the correct conclusion. But there was one problem. He has written very, very short sutras. The sutras were very, very short. They were so short that when people read it, they came to different conclusion. Shankaracharya, he has given one commentary and then he interprets the whole Brahma Sutras in one way. Madhvacharya, he gives another interpretation. Ramanujacharya, he gives another interpretation. So, in this way, though he wanted to write everything in a short form, he has given one book, but that one book is also misinterpreted in multiple ways. Then he wrote Mahabharat in a story format, very elaborate, summarizing the whole Vedas for people to read. And then within that, he has embedded this Bhagavad Gita within it, which is the essence of the entire scriptures. So he has written so many things. After writing all these things, still Vyasadeva felt very sad in his heart. He felt very incomplete. He felt that something is missing. He was not feeling satisfied. Not only he was not feeling satisfied, he felt low self-esteem. He was feeling bad about himself. And then he was feeling very miserable. Huh? He has not achieved his goal, he felt. So when he was contemplating on it, what I have done, I have worshipped the Lord properly, and I have practiced all austerities and penances and vratas, everything I'm doing it correctly, all the rules and regulations I'm following correctly. And I have done good welfare activity for the people. He has written all the scriptures for the people. Hmm? All these things I have done. Still, why I'm feeling very incomplete? So then, while he was contemplating on this, immediately Narada Muni came from the sky. Narada Muni travels everywhere. And Narada Muni is the guru of Vyasadeva. So when he was contemplating on this part, Narada Muni came to that place, to the ashrama of Vyasadeva. So when Narada Muni came, Vyasadeva went and received him very nicely. He did all upachara. When a guest comes to your home, you have to welcome him. How you have to welcome him? You have to go out of your home and then you have to receive that person. Not sitting inside the home and then ask the person to come in. That's not a proper etiquette. We have to, especially if they are devotees, we have to go outside and then we have to welcome them and then we have to ask them to come inside. So Vyasadeva welcomed Narada Muni and brought him inside. So when we bring a guest inside, we have to do three things. One is we have to give a place for them to sit. These are three minimum things we need to do. Place for them to sit, we have to ask them to sit. Second, we have to give some water for drinking. Third thing, sweet words. We have to speak to them very sweetly. These three things minimum we should do. Beyond that, it's our to our capacity. We can give them lunch, dinner, whatever it is. But three things the minimum we should do: water, sweet words, and sitting place. So he has offered all these things, and then he worshipped Narada Muni. So after worshipping Narada Muni, he asked. Narada Muni asked Vyasadeva, "How are you doing? You seem to be very much dissatisfied. What's going on?" So then Vyasadeva told that, yeah, you have correctly identified that I have a problem. I have done all the welfare activities for others. It's a preaching work for Vyasadeva. He has preached correct knowledge to others. Preaching means giving knowledge to others. He has given correct knowledge to others. Still, he is feeling not satisfied. And he has followed his own spiritual practices also correctly. Sometimes, if you only preach to others and if you don't follow practice, then we will feel incomplete. Or if we only practice and then we don't give the knowledge to others, we will feel incomplete. So, in this case, Vyasadeva has done both. He has given knowledge to others and then he has practiced himself. Still, he is feeling incomplete. So, then Narada Muni was saying that on the name of knowledge, you have confused people. You have created confusions among people. You have written so much, and you have praised different gods within that. So, as we said previously, that he has given worshipping Shiva, worshipping Brahma, worshipping Vishnu. So his idea was that when people worship Shiva, in the when they are in the tamasic guna, they will worship Shiva, and then they will slowly come up to rajasic guna, and then they will slowly come up to sattvic, and then they will worship Vishnu. So finally, they will go through the gunas, and then they will finally worship Vishnu. That was his goal. Then Narada Muni was scolding. No, people will be stuck. One particular practice, when they follow throughout their life, they will not change it. They will be stuck to that. They will not upgrade as you are thinking. So you have, on the name of bridge preaching, you have confused people. You have created confusion among people. You have not given the path, the God form, the form of God to worship, the path to follow. You have given so many options. And so when there are so many options, people will get confused and they will follow different things, and they will not understand the whole plan also. They'll go in different ways. So, because you have not done that properly, therefore, you are feeling incomplete in your heart. You have to give this knowledge properly. So, then, after hearing this instruction from Narada Muni, Vyasadeva went to meditation to understand what should be presented correctly. So, he went into meditation. And in meditation, he attained samadhi. The meditation, the goal of meditation is to, we should attain samadhi. Samadhi means we are seeing truth as it is. Long time meditation will bring samadhi. So he attained samadhi, and then within that samadhi he saw the form of Krishna. The form of Krishna is the ultimate form to be worshipped. And then he also saw the jivas, or the living entities. They were suffering because of the maya, or the illusion that is covering them. Because of that maya, they were suffering. And then he also saw the bhakti yoga process, that using that process, the jivas can be recovered quickly, especially toward Krishna. He saw all of these things. Within that is his samadhi. Then he came out of that samadhi, and then he wrote, he wanted to write all these realizations. Then he looked at the whatever the works he has done. So he has created four Vedas, and within four Vedas there are multiple sections. And then he wrote Mahabharat, and then he wrote the Vedanta Sutra, and then he wrote the 18 Puranas. So he took one of the Purana out of the 18 Puranas, which is Bhagavatam, and that Bhagavatam he rewrote it. Initially, when he wrote it in such a way that general description of Krishna was there, general description of Bhagavan was there. But then now he rewrote the entire thing, portraying Krishna very essentially, very prominently, because that is the form to be worshipped. First canto, you will find Krishna. Second canto, you will find Krishna. Third canto, you will find Krishna. In this way, go every canto, you will find a reference to Krishna. And then, 10th canto, he has written everything about Krishna. So, 10th canto is almost like 40% of the entire Bhagavatam. So, every canto, every canto, and then the whole Bhagavatam fully refers to Krishna. And then he wrote about Bhakti Yoga in every canto, and then 10th canto fully. So in this way, he has glorified this Bhakti Yoga and the main form of Krishna, main form of Bhagavan to be worshipped as Krishna. So this was what Narada Muni was saying. You give one form of God to worship, you give one path of spiritual practice to follow correctly, exactly, and tell to people this is the highest, then you will have shared the correct knowledge in a right way. Then people will be inspired and to follow the right path. They won't get misguided here and there. So after writing that, he felt satisfied. So one thing we should know is that when Vyasadeva had written Mahabharat, Brahma Sutra, the 18 Puranas previously, and the Vedas, he did not feel satisfied. If he himself is not feeling satisfied reading those work, how can we feel satisfied? Correct? So, if Vyasadeva himself is not feeling satisfied, how can we feel satisfied by studying that work? It is not possible to get satisfaction. Vyasadeva got satisfaction by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. If we read Srimad Bhagavatam, then we will feel satisfied. So now, to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, We have like 12 cantos. It takes years to go through the entire Bhagavatam. In this 1 hour, we cannot understand the whole Bhagavatam. But there is a shortcut way to understand. Just like when you write a research paper, you will write at the beginning of the research paper an abstract. That abstract will tell about the whole research paper. It will talk about the whole research paper in a nutshell form. So similarly, in any Sanskrit works, the first verse of that Sanskrit work is very, very important because that first verse gives in nutshell the whole content of that work. So, today, to understand the whole Bhagavatam, we'll try to understand the first verse of Bhagavatam. By understanding the first verse of Bhagavatam, in essence, we will understand the whole Bhagavatam in itself. So, by understanding Bhagavatam, we understand the entire scriptures. By understanding in the entire scriptures, we will know what is to be known. Here Krishna is speaking, Nyayam yattat pravakshyami. That we will know. Knowing that, we will achieve Amrita, eternal, eternity. Okay. So that is the goal. So we look into the first verse of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we'll recite the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this verse is written in a meter called Shardula Vikriditam. Shardula Vikridita means the play of a tiger. Shardula is a tiger. Vikridita is a play of a tiger. So this verse sound can also go almost like the play of the tiger. Okay. Janmadi asya yataha anvayat itaratas cha arteshu abhignyah swarat. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयातितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदा यः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेने ब्रह्म हृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरय तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयातितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरय तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. O my Lord, Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. There's a lot of things are going on, the whole translation, and a little bit looks at abstract also because of the verse. So we look at each and every word of this verse to correctly understand what Bhagavatam is trying to say. So the first verse of the Bhagavatam, in essence, talks about the entire Bhagavatam. In essence, the main important element uh, that is portrayed in the Bhagavatam. So by first understanding this first verse correctly, then we will have an understanding of the whole Bhagavatam. Janmadi asya yataha. So Janma Adi. Adi means etc. So Janma means creation, beginning. So creation followed by something, Adi, creation, etc. So what does it mean, creation, etc.? Creation, maintenance, and destruction. These are the three things that can happen for anything. So in this whole universe, Asya means this. Huh? It refers to this whole universe where we are living. So the creation of this whole universe, the destruction of the whole universe, the maintenance of the whole universe comes from Yataha, somebody. Okay. So it is coming from somebody. Who is that somebody? This whole verse will not explain who is that person. Finally, at the last line of the verse, it will explain. So we will maintain that suspense as the verse is progressing. So the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the whole universe comes from somebody. Anvayad itaratascha arteshu abhignaha. So arteshu means different things that are present in this world. Artha, arteshu abhignaha. So that person is completely aware of everything that's in this world. Hmm? So this is obviously referring to God. So from God comes the creation, maintenance, and destruction of this whole universe, and He is completely aware of things within this world. Arteshu abhignaha. Abhignya means knowing, abhignya means completely knowing in all directions. What is going on in my mind? The God knows. What is going inside my home? He knows. Everything he knows. What is going on in India? What is going on in Europe? What is going on in the space? What is going on in the Mars planet? Everything he knows. There is no secret for him. Nothing can be hidden from him. He knows everything fully. How does he know? Anvayati taratascha. He knows um, directly and indirectly. What experience I am going through, the Lord knows indirectly. He experiences through me. Sometimes I go through sadness. Sometimes I go through happiness. He knows that. He is not directly knowing that in the sense of he himself is not experiencing that. But because I am experiencing that, and then he is very close to me, he knows what I am experiencing through that way. Uh, 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 he also knows directly something. He knows what are things happening here directly because he is Paramatma, he is all pervaded. So this God knows everything directly and indirectly. Swarat, he is independent. He is not dependent on anyone. Why this statement Swarat is used? Because um, we may get confused that this person who knows everything, maybe he is Brahma, maybe he is Shiva, we will be thinking because it has not explained. Huh? He is Swarat. Swarat means he is independent. We know that Brahma and Shiva, they came from Vishnu. They are not independent. They are under the controller of Vishnu, controller of Vishnu. So Vishnu is the supreme independent person. So therefore, this entity which is being described, that is Swarat, he should be completely independent. Brahma came from the lotus of Vishnu. So he has a birth, there's a beginning. Shiva is an expansion of Vishnu. So he also came from Vishnu. So he's not completely independent. He is dependent on Vishnu. He's not Swarat. So Vishnu is Swarat. It's talking about Vishnu. Tene Brahma Hrida Ya Adi Kavaye. So here the word Brahma means Vedas. Brahma does not mean Lord Brahma. Brahma here means Vedas, or Brahma does not mean the Brahman form of God. It means Vedas. So, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So, this person has expanded the knowledge of Vedas into the heart of Adi Kavi. Adi Kavi means the first creator, who is Brahma. So, unto the heart of Brahma, uh, this particular person has expanded the knowledge of Vedas. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So, who is that person? He's not Vishnu. Krishna has done that. So, in the beginning of the creation, as is nicely portrayed in Brahma Samhita, Krishna appeared in front of Brahma. Also, this is portrayed in Bhagavatam as well later in second canto, we would see. So, Krishna appeared in front of Brahma and then he expanded the knowledge of Vedas into his heart. So, in the beginning of creation, uh, there was a lotus that came out of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Garbhodakshai Vishnu was lying in the current Garbhodaka ocean, and from his navel came a lotus. And on the top of the lotus, Brahma came out. But when Brahma came out of the lotus, he saw all around, everything was dark, nothing he could understand. So then he walked down the lotus to see what is at the bottom. At the bottom, he could not understand what is there. It's all water only he could see. He could not see, the lotus came from Vishnu. So looking at the water, he was thinking what to do. Suddenly, a word came, tapa, meditate, perform austerities. So then Lord Brahma went back to his lotus and then he started doing tapasya. So at the end of the tapasya, Lord Krishna showed his form. Then Brahma was satisfied by looking at that form. Then Lord gave initiation to him, and then he expanded this Vedic knowledge into his heart. So this is specifically talking about the form of Krishna. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Mukhiyanti yat suraya. So, in understanding Krishna, everybody is confused. So many rishis, they are confused. Is Krishna having a form? Is it this form spiritual or material? Many people are confused. Some people will take the Mayavad and then the Mayavad, the philosophy, and then they'll say, no, he is actually, the form of the Lord is actually material. And then some people will say, no, 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 the form of the Lord is spiritual. What is it? The people are very much confused about who is this God. Muhyantiyat Surya, Suris. These are Suris. Suris means like great stalwarts. Stalwarts are confused about this. Then what to speak of common people? How they are confused? Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo. Tejas means fire. Vari means water. Mridu means earth. Water, fire, and earth, they're all mixed up. Minimaya, like that. For example, when I drive in the highways on a summer day, a summer afternoon, from a distance, I can see that, on the distance, there is some water. But then when I go closer to that, then I would see that, oh, it's not water. It's just because of the effect of sun, which is fire. Just like from the fire, I'm able to see something like water. Uh, this is illusion. And sometimes people, when they are going in a ship for a long journey in the water, when they are going in the ship, especially when they did not see a land for a long time, they would always see land everywhere. Small thing will be like there, or they'll just rush toward that and then they'll see, oh, there's no land. We have not reached land yet. People will be confused. Land on water, water on land, uh, like that. They are confused. So, similarly, they are also confused about form of God. Is he spiritual form? Is he having a spiritual form or is he having material form? They're all confused. Yatra Trisargaha Mrisha. So this three world, upper planetary system, lower planetary system, middle planetary system. Three worlds we have. All these three worlds are not true. They came from the Lord. We saw that creation, maintenance, and destruction came from the Supreme Lord, Krishna. These three worlds also came from Krishna. These three worlds are not true. Mrisha means mithya, false. But in Sanskrit, it allows another interpretation also. Mrisha can be taken as Amrisha, means not false. So these three worlds are not false. The three worlds are false. The three worlds are not false. There is a confusion here as well. Huh? Is the three worlds false or not false? Purposefully, this word is written like that. You can take it as Mrisha, false. You can take it as Amrisha, not false. People are confused about that. Even great stalwarts are confused about that. Uh, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mityam, they say. The Brahman is the truth, everything else is false. Like that. Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam. But this form of God, he's by his own power. Dhaman means power, tejas. By his own power, Svena, by his own power, he destroys all these confusions. Kuhakam. Kuhaka is basically false arguments. He destroys all his false arguments. By his power, by his spiritual body, he destroys. He possesses his spiritual body all the time. So when people follow the practices properly, Bhakti Yoga properly, they will be able to realize this particular form of God, and then they will know this form is eternal. This form is not non-eternal. This form is eternal. This form is not temporary. And then Krishna, by his own power also, he shows this world is not false. It is temporary, but it is not false. So, by his own Shakti, this form is establishing that. So, what is that form? Is that Satyam, truth? He establishes himself as truth, eternally existing. Sat, Satya. Satyam comes from the word Sat, eternally existing. Param, the highest truth. We don't need to think there is something else beyond this. This is the highest truth. Dhimahi. Dhimahi means let us meditate. So Vyasadeva is saying this instruction to all of us. Let us meditate, he says. He doesn't say let me meditate. So what does it let us meditate? He is asking us also to meditate along with him. This highest form of God, Krishna. Let us meditate on this form. Okay. So, therefore, this first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam establishes the form of Krishna as the highest truth. And this form of Krishna has spiritual body. And by his spiritual body and spiritual potency, he is destroying all the false arguments. What are the false arguments? The argument that Krishna's form is not spiritual, the world is not the world is not permanent, and the world is not real. All these false arguments, he is destroying it. And to understand this, the Suris or the great stalwarts were confused about it. This form of Krishna. And this form of Krishna has established or expanded the knowledge of the Vedas in the heart of Brahma. And this form of Krishna, from whom came creation, maintenance, and destruction of the whole universe. And this form of Krishna knows everything inside and out, in and out of this whole universe. And he is completely Swarat, independent. But then we may question, no, yes, this is talking about Krishna, but why not directly talk about Krishna? Why to so much way indirectly discuss? We don't see the word Krishna in the first verse, though this first line is saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In some editions, you will not even see this first line because some people can take it as it is written by a scribe. Usually, the person who is writing, he can also write the first line. So, anyways, this whole verse is not talking about Krishna. Uh, so Vyasadeva will not simply write it like that. He wants to write specifically about Krishna in the first verse because the whole Bhagavatam, as we said, every canto and especially in the 10th canto, and part of the whole, occupying most part of the whole Bhagavatam, he describes only about Krishna. Therefore, he should directly also talk about Krishna in the first verse. Because Krishna, in one sense, is the essence of the whole Bhagavatam. So, therefore, there must be another meaning for this first verse. Our acharyas point out, Janma adi asya yataha anu ayad. So, Janma means birth. Janma adi means after birth. Adi can also mean after. After birth. Asya yataha anu ayat means he went somewhere. Anu ayat, he goes somewhere, he went somewhere. Anu ayat itarataha, to some other place. Leaving one place, he went to some other place after his birth. We know who is that. After immediately his birth, Krishna, he has taken birth in Mathura prison. After taking that birth, he went from that prison to Vrindavan. Janmadi asya yataha anu ayat itarataha. Itarataha means another place, not this place, but another place he went. Cha arteshu abhignaha. So why did he go? He knows that Kamsa wants to kill him, and that is creating fear in the heart of his father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki. And then he also wants to give satisfaction and pleasure to the Vrajavasis who are living in Vrindavan. So he knows purpose. Artha means purpose also. He knows completely what he has to do. He wants to please his devotees. Arteshu abhignya. Therefore he went from Mathura to Vrindavan. Some people will say, no, 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 no. He actually went from Mathura to Vrindavan because he was afraid of Kamsa. That is why he has gone. Therefore, Vyasadeva is saying, Swarat. Don't think he is actually dependent on Vasudeva. He is independent. He is not he did not go to Vrindavan afraid of Kamsa. He went by himself. Swarat. He decides what to do and what not to do. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So Adi Kavi here also means Brahma. So he showed his real form, expanding uh, uh, himself into multiple Vishnu forms into the heart of Brahma. So in the Brahma Vimohana Lila, we have the Brahma Vimohana Lila where one time when Krishna was playing with his cowherd boyfriends, Brahma thought that, Krishna is supposed to be God, but then he is playing in such a way that I cannot believe that he is God. He takes the remnants of his friends and then he eats. So Brahma is thinking, oh, how can he eat remnants from other people? He is Yagya Book. Yagya Book means one who eats the offerings of Yagya. So how can he eat remnants of others? Remnants of others is said to be contaminated. One should not eat the remnants of others. But how come he is eating others' remnants? He cannot be God. How can he be God? He is not following proper clean habits only. Then what to speak of, calling him God? But then he already knew he must be God also. Let me test him if he is God or not. So therefore he went and stole all the gopas and the cows when Krishna was not looking at them. So because he has stolen everything, then uh, Krishna saw that Brahma has stolen all cowherd boys and the cows. So what did he do? He expanded himself into all the cowherd boys and all the cows and all the calves, and then he went to Vrindavan like that. Huh? So looking at that, Brahma got bewildered. So Krishna was doing this for 1 year. 1 year he was performing as if he's different boys in Vrindavan. He goes to their home and then continues his relationship with their father and mother in all the homes of Vrindavan. And then the calves were also going to all of their mother and then drinking milk and then having nice relationship. Looking at all these things, the Brahma got bewildered. So to that Brahma, Krishna actually showed his original form. Huh? And then he also expanded into different Vishnu forms. And then he showed, I am the master that you are worshipping. So Brahma's master is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu from whom he came. So the Vishnu form is his master. So Krishna showed the form you are worshipping that actually comes from me. So he expanded all these forms to that form of Brahma. About Krishna, not only Brahma God gets bewildered, but even other Suris, like for example, Narada Muni. When Narada Muni, one time he went to Dwaraka, he wanted to see how Krishna is living with all of the 16,000 queens he has married. After killing Narakasura, Narakasura has captured 16,000 queens. So after killing Narakasura, Krishna went and married all the 16,000 these princesses. At the time they were princesses. So he married all the princesses and he brought them to Dwaraka. And in Dwaraka, he has built individual palaces for these different queens. Each of them had their own palace. So there are 16,000 palaces. So Narada Muni wanted to see how Krishna is living on all these palaces. So he went to one palace after another to observe what is Krishna doing. And then he was really bewildered. Why? In one palace, it was a daytime, and in another palace, it was a nighttime. The time was changing, and in another palace, it was a noontime. And in all of these palaces, Krishna was present. And not only the time of the day is changing, it was also a different season. In one palace, it was a spring season. In another palace, it was a winter season. In another palace, it was a autumn season. Different seasons were existing in different palaces. And different things Krishna was doing. In one palace, he is waking up because it was a morning time. And in one palace, he is going to sleep. And in one another palace, he is actually performing his daily ritualistic activities. So many different things he was doing. And then when all of this Krishna, they come out, they all become like one Krishna. And then he goes as one Krishna and then he goes back home like that. So different things were happening. So Brahma seeing this, he gets bewildered. He got bewildered. Sorry, Narada Muni seeing this, he got bewildered. So muhyanti yat suryaha. Even the great stalwart Suris, they get bewildered, like Brahma and Narada Muni, they get bewildered. The rest of the things are going to be the same. Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo, just like water, fire, and earth mixing up with each other. These Suris or the great heroes are bewildered. Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam. By his own Dhama here means his own dham, the abode, Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka. These are the different dhams. By his eternally shining there, dham, he is showing that these are all eternal dhams. He is defeating all the Maya. Nirasta Kohakam. These dhams, they don't get covered by Maya in the sense that they are not destroyed. They are eternally existing. Even today, people going to these dhams, they practice spiritual, Bhakti Yoga, they can realize these dhams. They can see face to face the eternity of the dham and the spiritual nature of the dham. Right now, because our eyes are covered, we are not able to see the actual dham. We may see some pigs running around here, and then there's some ditches maybe pouring here and there. We may not be able to see, but they are there, right there. Huh? If we perfect our sadhana, then we can see them as they are, filled with huge palaces. The palaces are bedecked with various jewels, chintamani stones, and Vaidurya stones, very beautifully built. All these palaces are there. And then the Vrajavasis and Mathuravasis and Dwarkavasis, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Vasudev, Devaki, all of these people are there, right there. We are not able to see. Once we perfect it, we will be able to see. Dhamnas Vena Sada Nirastakokam. His dhamas are not uh, co- covered by Maya. His dhamas are not material. His dhamas are eternal, spiritual. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Krishna is also called Satya. Satya is one of the names of Krishna. There is one particular verse that talks about this. So, 10th canto, second chapter. So, this is the prayers of the demigods. It says, Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyam Rita Satyanetram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha. You could see the word Satya 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 keep on repeating. Not only here, even in the Vishnu Sahasranama, one of the names that is mentioned there is Satya. His direct name is Satya. Translation: The demigods prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect because you decide, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all the ingredients of creation. Therefore, you are known as Antaryami, inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. So, the Lord is called Satya because he is the truth. So, Krishna's form, especially to Krishna's form, in Krishna's manifested his form, the Devatas are praying. So, he is the Satya and he is the highest truth. Krishna is the highest truth. Dhimahi. Let us meditate. Okay, so I'll just take a pause here and to see if anybody has any questions or doubts, those who have joined the, or something to share. Hare Krishna, Rohini Dural Prabhu Dhanasmana.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat pranam.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining this wonderfully, Prabhu. Um, I was thinking of when you said that Lord Vishnu initiated Brahmaji, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye, and actually he speaks this Chatushloki Bhagavatam also. So the first verse has this explanation about how the Lord is beyond the cause and effect. Ahameva sameva kre nanyat yat sadasatparam paschadaham yadestascha yo avashishesta joshmaham. So there also Prabhupada says the cause is the material nature and the effect is different manifestations within the material nature. And then the Lord is beyond this.
Hmm.
I was just contemplating on that. So,
Very nicely you brought it. When you hear the same thing, na, satina sat uchyate.
yeah, right.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, so one thing I was wondering, Prabhu, um, when Brahmaji was confused, right, when he was born from the lotus flower, so the first thing that he heard is tapa,
Yeah.
right? So he had to do some austerity before receiving the knowledge of
Hmm.
this Chatushloki. I don't know the sequence, but I'm assuming that the tapa was performed first by Brahma, and then there was revelation of knowledge, with the help of which he could create this entire material manifestation. So, what is the importance of doing tapasya before taking initiation? Also, he went through, right? So, does tapasya required for taking initiation, or why Lord Vishnu has given that instruction first?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing this topic of Chatushloki Bhagavatam and also rightly correlating with the Bhagavad Gita verse that we started with. Paschadevam. Yes, Yad Satasat Param. Let's read this verse.
Ahameva sameva.
Okay. Eva
That's good enough, I think. Yeah.
अहमेवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यद् सदसत्परं पश्चादहं यद् एतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽस्मि अहम्. So here is the word sadasatparam, beyond cause and effect. Same meaning and the same words are used here as well. Na sat and tat na asat. Thank you for bringing this point and corresponding verse as well. Now, going to your question about why Brahma was given this instruction of tapa in the beginning, what is the necessity of performing tapasya? Actually, our acharyas point out that um, the word tapa mentioned there cannot be austerities. The reason is by performing austerities, one cannot achieve Krishna. So at the end of the practice, uh, Brahma has achieved Krishna. So therefore, that cannot be austerity. Krishna can only be achieved by bhakti. He cannot be achieved by anything else. So the word tapa, that is also a secret word because it is given to Brahma. And Brahma can understand it because he is the most intelligent person. So, though he is somewhat blank in the beginning, still he is able to understand. Tapa here doesn't mean that I need to perform austerities. I need to perform bhakti. So he actually performed bhakti toward the Lord. Because of that, the Lord revealed himself. Bhakti, bhaktya sanjayata bhaktya. So by bhakti, sadhana bhakti, you attain prema bhakti, and through the prema bhakti, the Lord is revealed. So he performed bhakti yoga and then he has attained. Now, of course, in terms of tapasya in itself, some tapasya is favorable for bhakti. That much tapasya we should perform, not beyond that, not less than that. If there is no austerity, no control of senses, then we will not be able to follow even bhakti also. I want to chant every day. I need to stick to that. Sticking to that is basically sattvana. So some austerity, minimum austerity we perform, following four regulative principles. If we don't follow the four regulative principles, still we can practice bhakti. It will be a challenging practice in the sense of it will take a long time for us to perfect it. But still, if those who are not able to follow the four regulative principles, they can also follow bhakti. Even a chandala can also follow bhakti. Even the low caste, which is mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam, pulling the pulkasa. How does that verse start? Um,
Kirata Hunanda.
Grata. Okay, thank you. You are you are very good at this. Grata Puna किरातहूणान्ध्रपुलिन्दपुल्कषा आभीरशुम्बा यवना कसादय येन्ये च पापा यदपाश्रयाश्रया शुध्यन्ति तस्मै परभविष्णवे नमः Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumba, Yavana, members of the Kasa races, and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, even those who are not able to follow the four regulative principles, they can also take bhakti, and bhakti will purify them. But it is going to take some time because we want to speed it up. So, we perform some minimal regulative principles. We follow minimal regulative principles as long as it is favorable for bhakti. We don't follow beyond that, too much austerity, going to the forest and meditating. We don't perform those things and all. So some austerity, very small amount of austerity for us to progress further in bhakti very quickly. That much austerity is enough. Hope that
Yes, bro. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, literally, tapa may not mean the physical austerity. You're saying it could refer to bhakti also. Okay.
well, it should refer to bhakti, our acharyas say, because otherwise you cannot perform by performing. Like, I cannot perform austerities and achieve God. That's not possible. I follow four regulative principles and even furthermore regulative principles for years and years. I will not be able to achieve God. I need to follow bhakti practice.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I have one more question, but yeah, I'll take if so, after someone else.
You can ask your question. We'll take that as a last question for today.
Okay. Prabhu, Vadanti tat tattvavidas, right? That was is explaining about the three aspects of the absolute truth. And we say that they are non-different.
Yes.
And whoever is approaching any of these aspects is approaching the absolute truth, right? But we also see that the verses like Brahmano hi pratishtaham. So the Brahman is under my shelter. So it appears that the Supreme Lord is above Brahman there,
Mm.
correct?
Mm.
And how do we basically how do we see the simultaneous oneness and difference there? So what is the way to understand it? Of course, you explained that mountain analogy, but it's from the seer's perspective,
Yeah.
right? But from the seen perspective, when you go closer, right, you don't see Brahman anymore there,
Yeah.
right? So how do we, when you actually realize, right, when the person is there in the spiritual world,
Yeah.
he have the experience of Brahman, or he have the own experience of Bhagavan, or will he understand Paramatma also?
Yeah, okay. So, good question. So, let me uh, take this particular uh, phrase from Bhagavat Sandarbha. So, he is actually explaining this particular part. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti Shabdyate. So अयम् अर्थः तद् एकमेव अखण्ड आनन्दस्वरूपं तत्त्वं तूत्कृतपारमेष्ट्यादिक आनन्द समुदायानां परमहंसानां साधनवशात् तादात्म्यम् आपन्ने सत्यामपि तदीयस्वरूपशक्तिवैचित्र्यं तद् ग्रहण असमर्थे चेतसि यथा सामान्यतः लक्षितं तथा एव स्फुरद् वा आम्, तद्वत् एव अविविक्तशक्तिशक्तिमत्ता भेदतया प्रतिपद्यमानं वा ब्रह्म इति शब्द्यते. So what is Brahman realization? He is explaining this whole paragraph. Okay. So in this whole paragraph, he is also explaining who are the practitioners as well. Uh, Tutkrita. Generally, these people are renounced people. These renounced people, they follow, these are Paramahamsas, they follow a particular practice, sadhana. By particular practice, they have achieved perfection. For them, this Akhanda Ananda Swarupam, this Swarupa, which is concentrated bliss, that bliss, how it is going to appear. So when they perfect their sadhana, at that moment, तदीय स्वरूप शक्ति वैचित्र्याम तत् अग्रहणे असमर्थ तत् ग्रहण असमर्थ्ये चेतसि यथा सामान्यतः लक्षितम्. So when they are looking at that form, this Akanda Swarupam is Bhagavan form. Okay. It's a complete concentrated bliss. When they are looking at this Bhagavan form, they are not able to distinguish the Shakti and the Shaktiman. For them, they are not, they don't have that capability. Asamartha means they cannot do it. Why? Sadhana vashat, because they have performed a particular sadhana, which is jnana practice. They have throughout their life, they have tried to realize, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman. The Brahman does not have any qualities. The Brahman does not have any qualities. Like that, they have practiced it. And then when they achieve the final destination, they are not able to see that distinction. Neither the Shakti and the Shaktiman, they are not able to see. They are seeing Samanyataha Lakshitam. Generally, they are seeing. Okay. For them, avivikta Shakti, Shaktimata, Vedataya, the Shakti and the Shaktiman are not clearly distinguished and not perceived. Because of that, it appears in a general formless form. Remember, the form of the Lord is created by Shakti, his own Swarupa Shakti. And because they are not able to perceive that Shakti, they cannot see the form. The name of the form is also from the Shakti of the Lord. The Leelas of the form is Lord is also from the Shakti of the Lord. Because they are not able to grasp that Shakti and this existence of Shaktiman, they are only seeing a general thing. So that the general realization is Brahman. And when the sadhakas follow another particular kind of practice. It explains in what is Bhagavan here. I will not go here. But another particular type of practice, which is Bhakti Yoga. Throughout that, they are thinking, my Bhagavan has form, name, qualities, pastimes, and everything. And then when they realize, they're able to see the Shakti as well as the Shaktiman. Because of the Shakti and the Shaktiman, they are able to see that. They're able to see the form of the Lord. They are able to hear the name of the Lord. They're able to see the Leelas of the Lord. Everything is visible for them. They have that capacity to distinguish and differentiate. But in both the cases, they are seeing only one form, Akanda Ananda Swarupam, that blissful concentrated form. One person is not able to see the whole thing, the another person is able to see the whole thing. That is the only difference. The difference is there in the perceiver, not in the Lord Himself. I hope that clarifies Rohinindra Prabhu.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So this
Even
is
the mountain energy also it's in the perceiver, right? Based on
perceiver.
the
Exactly. So it is within the perceiver. Because of their sadhana, they have practiced it. So this is what Jiva Goswami is saying in Bhagavad Sandarbha. Okay.
thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So we will stop our session today here. And thank you everyone for joining and listening online. We'll stop here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय।